It's week 2 of the National Football League. And coming up, we'll see Stephon Diggs. He was a game breaker last week, over 200 yards receiving. It's the Bills and the Raiders, and it's coming right up on EA Sports.
From the home of the Bills since way back in 1973, there's a look at Highmark Stadium just outside of Buffalo, New York. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0. On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. If you got to fight against that, they've got to come out ready to play.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now here come the Bills for their first possession, led out by their 27-year-old quarterback in year 6. It's Josh Allen.
And he said he was feeling good in the lead up to the season, and he proved it in a big way in week 1. With 4 touchdown passes. Had the offense moving at peak efficiency right at the start of the year. Awfully impressive.
Allen going to go to the air right away. And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby, the outside linebacker, coming up to drop him for a loss of a full 10 yards. A lot of talk the other day about them wanting to quiet this home crowd early and often. Very first play of the game, they do just that.
You're exactly right about that, because that's often a conversation when you go on the road and you travel. Hey, let's take the crowd out of it. What a great way of doing so by putting the quarterback on the deck.
A situation they'll certainly want to avoid going forward. An early 2nd and long they're facing. Here's Allen. He gets it complete to Harris. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing now is Allen. Finding Harris on back-to-back plays. He'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Back-to-back big plays right there, and the Bills have another first down. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher, and that's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right, because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 34. Again, they'll throw with Allen. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And Abdullah will not try to bring it out. The Raiders offense heading out with their new man under center for 2023, the former Patriot, former 49er, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost. Yeah. How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Looking for Michael Mayer on the play. And now it's second down.
Here we go.
But you look at this defense. They currently sit at number 4 in the NFL in terms of stopping the run.
We know it's only week 1, but the results are pretty good so far. The key is...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And Oliver had time to want to get in there and bring him down.
All right, partner, we'll be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. So now make that a second sack for them on this drive.
And Brandon, we hear it every week when we go out to do a game. Everyone talks about playing complementary football. Their offense goes down and scores. They see that, and they want to back them up, and that they did, getting 2 sacks on this first drive.
Here's A.J. Cole now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. The new pickup from New England. This is Damian Harris. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
At the 46-yard line.
Allen now looks to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Harris. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive. It comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Touchdown, Bills! Stephon Diggs with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Bills have taken a 13-0 first-quarter lead. Well, this offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Abdullah's going to stay put, and the drive will start at the 25. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. They find themselves in a good-size hole here, and a good-size hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Well, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Now the NFL's leading rusher a season ago, Josh Jacobs. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Las Vegas with the football, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Garoppolo. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Pick made by Terrell Bernard. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. That's now a second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Now Allen. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Damian Harris, 38 yards. And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And Abdullah will not try to bring it out. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I'll overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Here's 3rd and 9. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. On the return, Hardy. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Going deep for Diggs. Touchdown! Stephon Diggs on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bills are able to add on to their first-half lead. It's not too often that you say, hey, this one's going to be over by halftime. And, CD, I know our bosses probably don't want us to say that because they don't want people clicking away, but this one might be over by halftime.
And since you've already put your job on the line by actually saying it, I will co-sign and go with you because you're my partner. We don't mean to do it, but this game has been exactly as you've described. I see no hope for them going forward.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it is 28-0. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest fastest drives you'll ever see. Just one play resulting in the touchdown. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Abdullah's going to stay put, and the drive will start at the 25. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. Gregory Rousseau. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Here we go.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Leonard Floyd. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Hardy set to return. Look at the spin.
A nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back.
And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
The football back to the Bills and Stephon Diggs.
Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them. Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Stephon Diggs on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns.
And the Bills open the lead up to 34-0. Here's Bass now for the extra point.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Pretty clean and simple there, just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And Abdullah will not try to bring it out. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession.
They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Throwing now is Garoppolo.
Quickly a slant to Renfro.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. To throw is Garoppolo. Over the middle, complete. It's Myers.
Here we go.
Now they got to get to the line quickly.
Complete to Jacoby Myers.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. He gets this to Devontae Adams.
Go ahead.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 43-yard line.
Garoppolo looks to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And a throw there going to be incomplete. So a couple of 1st downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But, boy, he's getting it done and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on every...
Yeah, man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Bills. Gabriel Davis as the 1st half is winding down. And the Bills will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Bass on for the extra point. And the route is on here in this 1st half. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. 1 play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. So not much time to speak of remaining in this 1st half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started up at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, and it's the Bengals who have the lead in the 2nd quarter. A couple of touchdown passes there for Joe Burrow. From there, we head up to the Motor City to check in on the Lions at home at Ford Field. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Kenneth Walker with a couple of touchdowns there. Finally, let's get down to Houston. Check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. As you can see, the score there in the 2nd quarter. Dameon Pierce accounting for the lone scoring thus far as he's cashed in with a touchdown run. The Bills got a terrific 1st half from the man on the cover, quarterback Josh Allen. He had a half for the ages, touchdown pass after touchdown pass. He threw a month's worth of touchdowns in just those first 2 quarters of play. Final adjustments being made for the 2nd half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the 1st half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
A gain of 14. And the Raiders first down.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand. Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by Leonard Floyd. He's still on his feet. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal. Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. On 2nd down, here's Allen. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Allen now on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Deontay Hardy. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bills take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. So I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you. No question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
The extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Abdullah's going to stay put, and the drive will start at the 25. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized. I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws.
Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. Leonard Floyd getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big. And now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Returnable here from the 38. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdown.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. Well, up big, but still not hesitating to take some shots downfield, CD. I guess they really want to hammer home their dominance in this one.
Yeah, that much is apparent, partner. If they keep completing throws like that, they'll keep that gap awfully wide as they've established already.
And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
That's a nice job right there. Get the ball out to the perimeter. Get it to your guy in space. And he's just going to take this, turn upfield, and turn it into a big play in 1st and goal.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. Allen going to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Harris will take this over the line. Touchdown, Buffalo. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just 1 play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends are on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. But this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
Tyler Bass now for the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was Damian Harris who finished things off with a touchdown run. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And Abdullah will not try to bring it out. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Garoppolo. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
First down, Raiders.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the...
Look at this! Middle of the field, a breakaway! And the Bills are on their way to a 2-0 start. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
The extra point by Bass, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff.
Abdullah's going to stay put, and the drive will start at the 25. The Raiders heading out to take over. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests. But in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
The Raiders on third down. Just one conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and 5. Garoppolo now.
And throw right side here going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, but after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
This is fielded at the 27.
A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The football back to the Bills and Stephon Diggs.
And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he is really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. You don't want to give it a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here. 1st and 10. First down, and they go back to Harris. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll try and run with Harris. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
So he's had a nose for the end zone here in the early part of the season. 2 touchdowns for him now in this one to go along with the one he had in the opener as well.
Yeah, he certainly finds where the goal line is and finds a way to get across it. But you know who else senses it? the guys that block for him. Because he has that instinct, I think they hold their blocks just a little bit longer.
Here's Bass now for the extra point.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was Damian Harris who finished things off with a touchdown run.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And Abdullah will not try to bring it out. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
From the gun on third, Garoppolo.
To the sideline and incomplete.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep.
So for the Bills, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0.
And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Commanders.
Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Came a long way, came a long way, came a long way.